Quick little guide on how to make the best habit tracker possible. There is no fluff, there is no bullshit, just straight up value. So follow along, do everything step by step, and you're going to have a very good looking habit tracker by the end of this video. Also, the last step is really important, especially for the guys who are working out. I haven't seen anybody talking about this, and I think that it can really help you out. Enjoy. So grab a pen, a piece of paper. That can be just a simple notebook. It's not the end habit tracker that we are going to have. It's just to take notes and write down all of the habits with what you would like to stay consistent with. At this point, don't judge your thoughts. Just spit all of your ideas, spit all of the things with what you would like to stay consistent with. Imagine that you have unlimited time in the day. You can do whatever you want to have like 100 hours in the day. What habits you would do every single day? You would have so much time. Just write down everything. It can be 40 things, it can be 50 things, it can be 100 things, but I would say get at least like 14 up to like 20 things. For this thing, you're not going to do it in 2 minutes, you're not going to do it in 5 minutes. Take at least 10 minutes and just sit in front of the paper and think what I would like to do, what would get me closer to my goals. Let your mind go and just write down as many things as you can. And then we can go to the other step. Step 2. By this point, you should have all of the things with what you would like to stay consistent with in front of you. What you're going to do now is just think for a second and choose 10 out of all of those habits. 10 that are the most important ones. Imagine that you can't do any other habits. You can only do those 10 habits. Choose them and then we can go to the other step. Step 3. Right now, when you have 10 habits with what you would like to stay consistent with, what you need to do now? Now think for a second. What are the most important ones? And basically rate them. From the least important to the most important one. That's basically from 1 to 10. So they are going to be all rated. For this, take your time, man. Maybe it's going to take you 5 minutes, maybe it's going to take you 10 minutes. It doesn't even matter. The most important thing is that you should not just like do it just so you're going to do it, just write random numbers so it's going to get done. Alright, so let's go to the real deal. Right now we are actually going to make a habit tracker. So what you need to do right now is grab another paper on what you're going to make your habit tracker, and it can look something like this or something like this. If you can find paper like this, it would be even easier for you because you wouldn't need to make lines or draw lines and make all the habit tracker. It would just make all the process easier for you. Also, I'm going to show you how to do it on blank white piece of paper. So grab your ruler or something. I just made the lines with my book. It doesn't even matter, you don't need that much equipment, and make those 2 lines how I'm doing them right now. Alright, so this step is a bit more complex. What we are going to do right now is we are actually going to have to add the habits to your list. The cool part, your habit tracker is actually going to look like a habit tracker right now. So what we are going to do, you have that list. When you rated your habits, those 10 habits from 1 to 10. What we are going to do right now is we are going to write those habits from the most important to the least important. But don't start yet. Look at your habits and think how many of them I can do in a day. What is possible and what is like really realistic. And don't be arrogant about this. Drop your ego away and just be real, bro. If you can't stay consistent with 2 habits, that's okay. That's okay if you can't stay consistent with 2 habits. If those first 2 habits are kinda hard, just start with 1 habit. Add only 1 habit that is the most important in the first place, and as the time will go on, you're going to add more and more habits. It's way better to start out slow and build it up with time than start while having like 10 habits, then fail, get unmotivated. The whole process is just not going to be as fun. So start slow. If right now you think I can't stay consistent with 5 habits, start with 4, start with 3. Add less habits than you think that you actually can stay consistent with. You're going to try to do that, and maybe you're going to think, oh, that's too easy, I'm going to add another one. That's how you're going to progress. Consistency is a skill. So yeah, on the top, just write down as much habits as you want with what you would like to stay consistent with, and also remember that you need to write them down from the most important to the least important. But why we are doing it this way? Because it's just going to be easier for your mind. For example, you're not going to have done almost any habits that day. You're going to wake up to habit tracker and you're going to start while doing the most important habits that are just at the beginning of your habit tracker. You can also like underline them, it doesn't even matter that much, but it's just about separating the most important ones from a bit less important ones. So just make it almost like a list. It's going to be easier for you to do the most important habits and make sure that you're not going to skip the most important ones. Okay, so right now just finish the lines exactly how I am doing right now. Make as many of them as you want. It doesn't matter that much. You can make like 100 of them. You can make 5 of them. It doesn't even matter that much. I make more of them, so I will need to do my habit tracker less and less because sometimes it's just annoying to sit there and make a habit tracker. So I just made it a bit bigger. It doesn't even matter, to be honest. Okay, so this is a bit of a random one, but trust me, write down the date on what you're doing this habit tracker. It's going to be so fun for you to look back to this habit tracker a year, 2 years, maybe a decade later and see how you progressed with time. So even me, I have a whole folder of my old habit trackers and I wish I write down the date on them because right now I don't even know what the date was. So yeah, just write down the date on the other side or somewhere, it doesn't even matter. You're going to thank me later. Okay, so the last tip for you. Remember how at the beginning I said that the last tip is going to be especially good for guys who are working out and who are going to put working out in their habit tracker. I do the same thing and I found one thing that really worked for me and it just made my life way simpler. So if you're working out and you have your workout split, for example, what I have is push, pull, legs, rest, push, pull, legs, rest. What you can do and what I think that you should do, it just makes your life way simpler, it's just way easier, is on your habit tracker, in the days and what you're going to put the tick, just write down push, pull, legs, rest, exactly how you see right now on the screen. Like man, it took me a lot of time to just figure out that I can actually do this, that this thing can actually work, and I just want to tell you this because I know that for some guys this is going to be very beneficial. Congratulations man, right now you should have your habit tracker on the table, but there is a problem. You still don't know how to use it. You may think that it's all about just ticking the days, but it's not really. There is a lot of other stuff of how you can make it work way better, how you can be way more likely to succeed, and how you can get more ticks. To learn that, check this video out. This video is going to be uploaded one day later after this video, so if you don't see it right now, that means that it's going to be in this place a bit later. So yeah, check this video out, learn fully about how to use a habit tracker, and then man, just trust the process and I will see you tomorrow.